What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Barnabas Brushes, My Miniature Mondays. I'm here every Monday and Wednesday right here on Twitch at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Painting miniatures in support of the Elite Encounters channel. You can see our banner up there and the links to the recommended channels down below. Elite Encounters is a Pathfinder 2nd Edition live play set in homebrew world of Iota Dree. We play there every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Uh, Please be sure and check us out. I want to give a special thanks to the Elite. That's our subscribers and followers out there supporting our channels and helping us continue to bring the content that we bring to you every week. As you may be able to tell, I'm struggling a little bit today with some illness, but I'm on the mend, so I thought why not hop on and paint some miniatures and kill some time and hang out with some folks while I do some painting. So last time on My Miniature Mondays, we started working on some Hero Quest board game miniatures, in particular the Mummy and Zombie from the Hero Quest board game. The board game comes with 6 zombies and 6 mummies. So we did a slap chop prime. You can see that this is these miniatures normally come in an off-white plastic. This was primed in black and then dry brushed up through gray to white to create a grisaille or slap chop prime as they call it. And we've let the paint kind of dry on here, and I'm realizing that there's not a lot of definition to the mummy's bandages, so we might give this a little bit of a wash to help those bandages pop a little bit. To do that, we're going to use the Army Painter Flesh Wash. This is kind of a light brown wash that will go into those crevices of the bandages pretty well. We'll see what this gets us. Just going to apply this pretty liberally over the bandaged areas and let the wash flow into the spaces, cracks between the bandages, kind of defining those wraps. If it starts to pool up in an area, we can use our brush to kind of push it around and make sure it gets evenly distributed. I haven't been able to do much talking the past week, so I'm going to try and avoid too much talking right now. And just try to work my way through the miniatures. Thanks for popping in, Evil. I appreciate you stopping by, especially on a busy night. No worries. Like I said, I won't be doing a lot of talking because my voice has been thrashed by this illness. All right, I think that gives us a little bit better definition on those bandages. I'll let that dry down. While that's drying down, we work on probably doing some of the priming on the rest of the mummies. Again, I said there were six in the board game, so we have a few of them that I've gone ahead and primed up with black. And I'm going to go ahead and work through the gray midtone prime to the white highlight prime to kind of create that grisaille or slap chop prime. The base prime that I've used here for this mummy, just like always, has been the Vallejo primer. This is the black. The next, I'm going to shoot it with the mid-tone gray. I'm going to dry brush that on. And for my dry brush, I'm going to use just a very simple makeup blender brush that I picked up at a department store. A couple bucks. I'm dry brushing this. I'm going to get just a little bit of the gray paint on the tip of my brush and then brush it out on a paper towel or other dry surface. Brush it until it's completely, looks like it's completely empty of pigment. Nothing's coming out of the paper. Let's look at the camera here. There we go. Just a nice, easy top-down dry brushing with this gray. We'll start to reveal the details of the model. Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining. My voice is wrecked. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Just continuing to work on these Hero Quest mummies from last week. It's not COVID. Um, but thanks. Yeah, I do sound like hell. Feel better though. Yeah, Pelican, if only. I do have some whiskey, maybe, but we'll see. So I'm gonna try and minimize my talking. Yes, I have been sick since probably Thursday. Yeah, maybe Wednesday. Aside from that, how was everyone's Halloween? What everybody have a good time? It's fun. Host game. Is it the weather, do you think? It's been raining almost all day here where I'm at. Hmm. Well, that's great. That's good to know. All right, now that I've done that mid-tone gray, we're gonna dry brush highlight with our white. Yeah, sometimes. So again, this is a acrylic polyurethane blend primer, brush on primer. You can be run through airbrush too if you want. Real easy top-down dry brush with white. Yeah, if you run this through the airbrush, you should thin it. There are primers that are specifically designed for airbrush that are thinner, but you can use these with a thinner through an airbrush. think that my space and my ventilation doesn't really allow for me to do airbrushing. I would have to do some kind of setup in the garage, and weather and humidity will impact the results, so I just stick to brush. Works just as well. Really see the detail coming to life on these guys. Pretty cool. Uh, well, good. That's the effect I'm going for. Person who commissioned these sent me his entire Hero Quest miniatures collection in one gigantic box. So I've got a lot of figures to work through for this, but yeah, I've never actually played the game itself. I don't know if anybody out there has actually played the Hero Quest board game, whether it was the original uh, or the remastered version, the republished version, I guess I should say. These models are obviously from the new reprint version. They're a little bit more detailed. All right, that is our slap chop grisaille prime for our mummies. So we'll let those settle for a little bit. The wash has started to kind of dry down. So Sunshine, as you said on the mummy earlier, if it was a little too light and lacking in detail, we could hit it with a wash. So I hit it with a light brown wash to kind of bring out the details on those bandages. Okay, for the kind of desiccated skin of the mummy, we're going to use Army Painter Ruddy Fur. This is a speed paint, so one coat solution for miniature painting that does the shadows, midtone, and highlight all in one coat. You guys all know that by now. I gotta say it for the YouTubes, just in case get somebody watching that's never seen it before. So we're gonna basically put in all the exposed skin as this reddish brown. Just drag this right over the toes. You can see how the paint fills in. Heavier pigments going into the areas between the toes, darkening those in. Oh wow, that's going to be very challenging then, trying to find a new childcare facility that short notice. Sounds like there might be some serious things on the horizon for the Psychic Promise campaign, which is airing tomorrow at 6. Anything, any non-spoilery things you can tell us about how crazy that's going to be? Oh, thanks, Overwatch. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, it was a heart-wrenching moment, that's for sure. To wonder how I would feel if Barnabas were to die in the Soul Severed campaign. You know, to how that would feel. How that what kind of a new character would I make? Something completely different. Completely different personality. Be hard. Okay, that's yes, that is a very tiny brush to do those little flesh bits. I'm gonna use a slightly larger brush to do the bandages. Yeah, never say never. You know, our characters are all mortal. I mean, what's the fun of playing these kind of games if your characters, don't run the risk of dying? All right, for the bandages, we used a color called Howling Sand. I'm just going to find that again. Yeah, there we go. So Howling Sand was the color we used for the bandages. We ended up doing a wash over that with a light brown wash, so I think we'll stick with that. We might dry brush those bandages after the wash dries with a white color. Yeah, yeah, that was. I think I got everybody in that campaign at least once. Getting hit with not one but two horrid wilting spells at once is very hard to survive. That's true. Right. Really. Okay, so we'll let that sand golem kind of dry down and seep into those crevices. Once that dries, we'll definitely have to do a wash. How's everybody handling this daylight savings stuff? Like, the idea that it's completely dark outside right now is really discombobulating for me. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Or do they do daylight savings where you're at? Yeah, yeah, same. It's especially in the spring when you lose time. One of my next goals is to figure out how to have music running while I'm painting. I do not like this dead air. I mean, some nice mellow background music. Just a couple more of these mummies left. Keep going on these bandages with the howling sand. Yeah, that is correct. These are the new edition miniatures. The old ones did have a square base. So this is the miniature set from the new Hero Quest edition. There's a little bit more detail in the models, a little bit more action in the poses. I never did play the original version of this game. I didn't even know about it, honestly. For most people, it was their gateway drug into D&D. Uh, for me, The Hobbit was my gateway drug into D&D. It was all the rage back in 82, 84. Oh yeah, yeah. I never did play it. Yeah, it was the Beck Me Red box that got me started. Neighbors across the street had it. Right, so here we go. All six of our mummies have now had their bandages painted. We're going to let those dry before we hit them with the wash. I don't think they're quite ready for that yet. Probably let it dry for a good day or so, and then I'll hit them with a wash, probably off air. And then we'll hit these with some details, like we'll color in their eyes and maybe their teeth, and kind of put the finishing touches on these guys, and then we'll start working on the bases. And then next week we'll probably start working on the zombies. We got pretty far on the zombie last time. Um, I'm not sure I'm a fan of how the skin turned out on this particular one, but we'll play around with them. I might strip them down and start over. That's an option as well. But the card for the zombies from the game, they do have this weird kind of sickly green skin. So we might just stick with this color scheme and see how it plays out. But I've got, uh, five more of these guys that are primed in the black and ready to slap chop up for next time. So that will be our goal next time. In the meantime, we're getting pretty close to the top of the hour. Yeah, he is very green. I'm not a huge fan of that, so I don't know. I might dry brush him down a little bit with a different color. Try to tone him down. Um, Match him a little bit better to the card. Um, so we'll see what happens. I may just strip them and start fresh. It's easy to do. You can dunk these guys in a. Yeah, that's the answer to everything. Just give it a wash. That unfortunately won't get rid of the green. To strip it, you can use a solution called Simple Green. It's actually a cleaner solution that will strip away the paint, but won't harm the plastic underneath the miniature. Um, yeah, we might try that. We might throw a flesh wash on there and see what that does. It's an interesting idea. Could tone them down a bit. That's definitely what we did for this mummy here to kind of dirty up those bandages a little bit. I might hit this with a dry brush of white just to mummy him up a little bit more, make it a little bit more distinct. We'll see. But in the meantime, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the Psychic Promise campaign. That will be 3 hours of roleplay goodness in second edition Pathfinder. Uh, yeah, you can experiment for sure. And then Wednesday, I'll be back here at 5 p.m. Eastern for Barnabas Brushes, working on those Iron Skull Archers for the Epic Encounters Undead kit. So my voice is failing me, so I think that we're gonna end it just a little bit early here this time. I appreciate everyone coming by. Thanks so much for liking and following. I'm going to be dropping some stuff on YouTube, so be sure to check it out there if you weren't able to catch the full stream. And always, you can subscribe over there on YouTube for free as well. But in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesdays at Elite Encounters. The link for that channel is down below in my recommended channels. Be sure to check us out uh, every Tuesday. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. My voice will be back to normal soon, I'm sure. At any rate, thanks for coming and hanging out, everybody. Stay safe out there in the new darkness that we face now at the early hours, and have a great time the rest of the week.